As a small business owner, have you ever felt overwhelmed by the pressure of choosing the right hire or leading a team? Or have you ever found yourself tolerating a bad hire because you fear trying and failing again as you repeat the hiring process? If so, you're not alone, and you are in the right place. Welcome to the Growing Your Team podcast. The Growing Your Team podcast teaches business owners like you to expand your unique business by teaching you to master the hiring and team management process. Hiring and managing a team does not have to be a challenge. You just have to learn to do it right. And the Growing Your Team podcast teaches you how to become a confident leader who hires right every single time. Now, let's jump into the show where each episode you will learn tips on how to identify what type of help you need on your team, how to source amazing candidates, how to conduct interviews that lead you to your ideal team member, how to onboard successfully, and how to lead every person in your business so you have a team of rock stars who you are happy to pay every single paycheck. So let's jump in and teach you how to hire like a pro. Hello, Jamie Van Cuyk here, and welcome back to the Growing Your Team podcast. On the podcast all the time, we talk about effective hiring processes. But what really makes up an effective hiring process? We can talk about the documents like a job posting and interview guides and everything. But what makes a job posting effective? What makes interview guides effective? And that's what I'm going to break down for you today in this episode. We're going to talk about the 4 things that really make the hiring process effective, that make it so you have the right tools in your toolbox to get a candidate on your team that matches your expectations, that is capable of doing the job you want them to do so you feel value every time that you pay them versus feeling dread. So let's jump in and talk about these 4 things that really make it so you can have an effective hiring process. The first is you really need to know what you're hiring for. So what I mean by this is you need to know what it is that you're going to be having this person doing, which means you need to be clear on your workflows. You need to be clear on what you're handing off to this team member and what you expect for them to do when you give them these tasks. There's too many people that jump into hiring and simply say, I need help with my client work, but don't actually think about how this person is going to fit in with their client work until after the person is hired. You really need to understand your processes and your workflows and what you're delegating to this team member. After you know that, you can then move on to the next part of making a hiring process effective. And that is, you need to be hiring based on the outcome, not on a title. You hear me say all the time, a person can be great at what they do, but that doesn't make them right for you. And this is super important because you need a team member who is going to be a good fit for your business, a perfect fit for your business. And that's not everybody who can fit into a generic title. So let's look at the title assistants. An assistant for one business can be doing completely different work than an assistant for another business. So if you just say, I'm hiring an assistant, that doesn't help, because what is your assistant going to do? How is that assistant going to make you happy? How are they going to fit into your business? So you really need to know what this person is going to be doing for you. Same thing, like let's look at a marketing position. when we talk about hiring for the outcome and not the title, let's talk about a marketing director. What do you want this person to achieve when you bring them on for your business? There's a lot of great marketing directors out there, but if they can't achieve the outcome that you want, they're not right for you. So for example, I was recently working with a client where they said, we've worked with marketing people in the past where they have views as their goal of more views equals better marketing. And they said, yes, we understand that views can lead to great marketing. So you're getting your product in front of more people and you're looking at the long game. But there also needs to be this long game goal that views don't matter if the people viewing are never going to buy. So our goal is marketing increases sales. So when we were looking for team members, we really wanted the person who understood that marketing is a driver for sales, not that marketing is just for awareness, because you can be aware, and you probably are personally aware of a lot of products that you would never buy. So for example, I'm familiar with a lot of laundry detergent brands because they advertise all the time, but I'm never going to buy those laundry detergent products because I only buy the natural products, the ones that actually disclose their ingredients, the ones that's packaging is good for the environment. So who cares that I saw an ad for the other brands when I was never going to buy? And so when you hire based off the outcome, you know what the goals are that you want this person to achieve before you go to hire them, before they ever step foot in your company, and you can then look for the person that can achieve those goals. So once you know these things, once you know what you want this person to do in terms of tasks, and you know what the outcome is that you want this person to do, so that way you're not just looking for anybody who can be a marketing director, for example, but that specific marketing director for your business who's going to succeed in your role, you then create a process that is centered around this person. We want job postings that speak directly to our idea candidate, which also means that they're not speaking to other candidates, that other candidates are going to read that and possibly be turned off or say, no, this isn't the job for me. And that is okay. We want to speak directly to the candidate. We want to have a process that when they go and apply and we review resumes, that we're not swayed by things that don't matter because we can narrowly focus on what matters for our idea candidate. We then want interview guides that center around things that we need to find out to determine if this person's our idea candidate. We don't want to ask questions that provide us no value because that's a waste of our time. It's a waste of a candidate's time. So we want every question to tie back to, can this person do the job that we need done? Can they match the outcome and achieve the outcome that we expect of this role? And that's what your process really needs to be centered around for it to be effective. The last thing I'm going to share with you today on what makes a process effective, what makes a hiring process effective, is consistency. This means that every candidate that goes through the process goes through the same process. I've seen people before want to go and say, wow, this is an amazing candidate. We typically have a quick phone screen first. For this one, we're going to skip the phone screen and just jump on to the second round of interviews because their resume looks so strong. What typically happens, they realize that there was a mistake, that they skipped that maybe this candidate wasn't as strong, that when they go to make their final decisions, because they didn't ask questions in that initial phone screen, they're missing information. They're missing pieces of the puzzle that would help them determine if they're the right candidate. I've seen people before decide, we're not going to ask these questions because we seem to love this candidate. And then once again, they're missing information that could have helped them determine if this person was the right candidate. You want to make sure you put everybody through the same process so that way you're comparing apples to apples and not apples to oranges. Consistency leads to good results. A process where you fly by the seat of your pants, you ask candidates the questions that come to your minds when you're in that interview and you ditch the interview guide, they're not going to give you the results that you're looking for. That's when you're going to end up frustrating. That's when you're going to have a candidate to say, this person seemed amazing, but why are they failing at everything that I want them to do? Consistency is so important. So those are the 4 things that really help make up an effective hiring process. Of course, within all these, like creating a job posting and all those things, there's things that make a job posting great. There's like the more granular details. There's things that make interview questions really great. Like how can you really determine if this is a good question that's going to help you really get that right answer from a candidate? There's a lot of things that go into each one of these steps, but this is the core of it. This is what each one of those steps boil down to. And if you don't have these things solidified, if you don't follow these 4 items, you're never going to have an effective hiring process that produces the results that you want every time. Can you get lucky and get good results one time? Yes, but you're looking at, can we get results every time we go to hire someone for this position? Every time we expand and we can add a new team member on, every time we add a new position, will we know we get the right candidate? These 4 things will help you create that solid base for your hiring process that then you can build all the other steps on top of. So if you're realizing that you don't have this foundation in place for your process, start there. That's what's going to make the difference with any of your open positions or any of the positions that you're going to add to your business in the future. Start with making your solid foundation by following these 4 items that will help turn your hiring process into an effective hiring process. Are you ready to hire a new team member for your business and you want to ensure you hire the person who can succeed in the role, make you happy, and positively impact your bottom line? Then let's talk and see how growing your team can help you master the art of hiring. Through bespoke hiring frameworks and comprehensive guidance, you will learn how to attract candidates who have the passion you desire and the skills needed to succeed. At Growing Your Team, women entrepreneurs and leaders work with us to help them expand their unique businesses by teaching them how to hire like a pro. Let's connect and see how we can help you. Send me an email at jamie@growingyourteam.com. That's Jamie, Jamie, @growingyourteam.com, or head on over to growingyourteam.com/jumpstart, with jumpstart being all one word, and let's talk about how you can become a confident leader who hires right every single time.